What the fuck is this piece of shit?
7 years ago, the studio Volition was so stubborn in their cocaine franchises, sending the characters of Saints Row to hell, that there were only two options left. Either collabing with the Fast and the Furious, or restarting the entire series from the beginning. And now, 7 years after the Get Out of Hell, the developers rolled out to the public a brand new, restarted and not related to the previous entry of the series game, which tells the story of the formation of a gang of saints in a new way, but in a Mexican style, with all the references that comes out, apart from Wilhelm's cry. I never heard him. Did the developers manage to restart the series, or did they completely crap themselves? Write in the comments, and I will go to launch the video and fuck up everything I can find. The game greets us with a graphic that are rather outdated for a third year, which have not gone far from their predecessors. But the fucking lightning saves the situation, thanks to which the game is still pleasant to look at. The protagonists open the closet, in which character customization will now take place, which can be customized completely different from what it looked like in the first frame. But nevertheless, customization, as always in the series, is quite extensive and you can kill in it a decent amount of time. You can even put the prosthesis of a woman from Kingsman here. But for those who do not want to spend time on customization, but simply choose a character from ready-made presets, I have bad news. The feminist Contagion has beaten a few developers, or the one who created these presets is just a crooked mediocrity, but each of them looks as disgusting as it can be. Surprisingly, the only adequate presets is a white male, but I am 100% sure that he is not the most natural orientation. Changing a character's gender does not change their appearance in any way. I love modern games, but thanks at least the size of boobs and penis can be changed to any size, and this means that offended woman with small tits did not get to this game. At least something pleases. The game started with the ending to then move back to some time ago to show how it all started cliché, and it all started with a commercial that amusingly parodies the Stormtroopers movie.
Я исполняю свой долг.
Я исполняю свой долг.
You were martial material.
Technologically advanced weapons, loose morals, and a culture of conflict. Now let's take a step through each of those letters.
Why are you watching that now?
In order to make a beautiful transaction. What is not clear here?
Alpha team, go!
First day on the job, don't fuck up.
Newbie, catch up!
Right, let's kick some... Holy shit!
Turrets, take cover!
That was
It was funny. The names of some missions deserve special attention. Some are really cool, but it's not clear why they censor it, given that in subtitles and voiceover, swear words quietly slip through. Turret section with infinite ammo cliché. It is now on the screen that you are watching the animations of the 2022.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Little C4 should take out that barricade.
Which lies so well right next to the table.
What the fuck? Thanks for the ride. I'll see you around.
At the end, when the protagonist approaches this plane, he will say that he hopes that his biometric data is suitable for activating it. Navali managed to hijack the plane without processing any unique biometric data. Well, okay, the plane was already on the move because it had another fighter in it, but after it took off, it should have found that the body in it is changed, and also along after the hero was fired, no one erases his biometrics from the database, so who the hell knows. But I'll put this in anyway. Otherwise in Saints Row you don't understand what the fuck is up to and what not. And since this is a case, I'll also add to the fact that none of the employers thought of remotely turning off this destroyer, which belongs to their company. All the same, a high mega corporation, most likely in their technology there is possibly a remote control. Well, here you could immediately start shooting at the glass, or ruin the engine until he see you and couldn't throw you off his roof. The hero in the cutscene lost one weapon, which means he lost all the weapon that he had cliché. The gun fell into the turbine, from which it immediately failed, and the fighter broke down and began to fall. Okay, at the expense of a high-tech company, I seem to have gotten excited. How does it fly across the sky at all, and does not break on its own from contact with air? This is a fucking military fighter, he must withstand missiles by himself, and he's fallen into Negabout the pistol managed to disable. And by the way, how in the end will the hero be able to launch the destroyer if we disable it now? And judging by the fact that it instantly collapsed to the ground, it is unlikely that he should be able to be in the air.
Shit and piss!
Shit and piss. This is the perfect description of sound made by absolutely any vehicle in this game. Even my half-dead vacuum cleaner, in which the mouse stuck, makes a sound more like a car than any car in this game. And the sounds of all of them about the same, no matter what car you sit on. But the control physics, also still plastic, still feels better than in previous games, where the physics was worse than that on a radio-controlled toy car. I just got kicked by a closing door. It apparently did not like that I grabbed the car to which it is bolted. Do not be offended, door. Shit is not only your car, but also any other car in the game. But you will continue to kick me with yourself every time you got out, I am right? I am right. Dumb door.
No, seriously, this is perfect. The only way this could be better is if you put on a fucking shirt.
Totally agree. Why is Kevin going shirtless and not Nina? What kind of injustice and oppression of the male part of the audience?
Nice left.
Been practicing.
I can tell.
Safe's back here.
Quite often during many cutscenes, I got the impression that they are fucking dragging sluggishly. Compared to the enthusiasm that was in the third and fourth parts, here sometimes it was even possible to yawn. Of course, I understand that they are just starting here. They are not have yet a cool gang with a cool action scenes, but anyway, the director for the cutscenes could have been more talented.
Absolutely.
It would be generally ideal, but such an outcome of events, it seems, will forever remain in my wet fantasies.
Gotta speed up.
This song will never get old. Even though it reminded me of the disgusting hardline, at least it reminded me of the only good thing in that game. This song. But aside from this song, most of the soundtrack in the game is rather dull and, like some of the cutscenes, does not at all create the very pissed off spirit of Saints Row that we are already used to. The combat stand of the character without weapons and his animation, as well as the weapon that the hero sometimes holds the wrong side, because of which he does not want to shoot, this is 2020... No, this is not 2022, this is a bullshit. Somewhere in Hollywood, a bold street racer just shed a tear with no much nitros in his blood. That's enough. Once indulge with a funny song and that's enough. Calm down. They added bicycles to the game just to tell us we can't ride them. Morons.
Sure, and then I kill everyone and retrieve the stolen goods.
No. Then you will report back to me, I will arrive with the team, and you will go home and hit the showers before you have a chance to fuck it up. You're just a distraction. We got a drone following these motherfuckers.
If that's what you wanted him to do, why don't you tell him to do it in the first place? Like, he would be a bait anyway, no matter what you tell him. In the cutscene, our car is pure white with blue stripes, but in the gameplay, it has a camouflage coloring from somewhere.
They have a turret.
Can't take this kind of fire forever.
Considering the accuracy with which this turret shot, we can calmly continue to follow them without worrying that it will suddenly be able to hit us.
JR, pick me up!
I can't get close. That truck's on fire.
The truck is on fire somewhere in front. There is no fire right there in the back. What is stopping you from driving here? Especially if you were able to drive us to the truck, which was exactly the same fire. What is the difference?
Fuck, the car car's on fire!
After such an explosion right next to you, not only the car should burn there, but also your charred pieces of the body in different places of the road. The car caught fire when I landed on its roof. Even in Saints Row, this raises some questions. Exploding red barrels cliché. At this point, it turns out that DirectX 12 didn't want to work for me normally, and from time to time the game crashes on it. But the fuck up is not in this, but in the fact that thanks to this I found out that any checkpoints inside missions only work inside missions. If you came out from the game and came back, the mission will start all over again and start from the beginning. The game of 2022, if anyone forgot. In general, this whole car battle would be full of endless references to Mad Max, starting with similar music and ending with quotes.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
But this is not Saints Row that we once fell in love with, and therefore I will not notice a single reference here. Shot in this thing that connects the wagons, do not disconnect this wagon.
Gwen says you were responsible for retrieving the Hummingbird Codex.
The retrieval of these relics is no small feat. The museum is in Marshall's debt.
Sir, I wasn't wasting time. I was saving...
Do you think I give a shit if Myra Star lives or dies?
Atticus.
You are replaceable. You are replaceable. That was not.
But what kind of codex is this, why is so important for this Atticus, and what is so secret written in it that he cares so much about its preservation and all of gangs the city wants to steal it? No one will tell us. This codex is just a suitcase from Pulp Fiction. I don't give a damn how believable a navigator that suddenly decided it needs to reroute in opposite direction, but it gets more and more annoying every time. The physics of this container... What can be said about it? Well, in one of the Fast and the Furious games where they carried a cardboard safe, physics were even more pleasurable.
Get this It's an embarrassment to the company.
It is disgrace for a company to put a person who has worked for you for 2 whole days in charge of guarding such an important enterprise. Why are you surprised now? The outcome was expected. Some naked opponents are taken out with a couple of shots, while others are surrounded by some kind of force field, which must first be destroyed so that you can get to his health. I see someone Far Cry New Dawn got beaten, but the benefit here is not as terrible as that bucket of shit. Not counting these mini-bosses. These assholes are some fucking Amos Podges. Why the hell are they so powerful if they are no different from their other partners? This woman knocked me out at all. She is half-naked bitch, but all my cartridges were not enough for me to defeat her. And why the hell do hand-to-hand finishing moves bring down opponents faster than machine gun shots to the head? By the way, for such a brutal game, there is surprisingly too little blood coming out of opponents when I shot at them. This is the best QTE I ever seen.
Fix that truck! Better acceleration.
Oh, what about the gas mileage?
Fuck the gas mileage!
Fuck gas mileage. Yes, the events are clearly not taking place in 2022. No matter how close to our car we shoot with a rocket launcher, our car will give a shit about taking any damage.
Wow, at least we got a cool logo.
Oh my god, they came up with their logo in the same way that the assassins came up with theirs. Stupidly by chance they saw some kind of garbage on the floor and everyone is like that, this is our logo. We are creative dudes, we do not think about the logo, but use the first thing that comes to our eyes.
There's a bunch of cool collectibles around town that would look amazing in the church. All we have to do is find a thing we want, snap a picture, and boom, it'll just show up there.
Really? How does that work?
It works.
Yeah, but how?
It just works.
Intentionally or not, he just quoted Todd Howard.
It just puts it a lifestyle and shows people why money flows. It just works.
Why not take a peep for that, and generally for the very explanation of these strange mechanics? I don't even know how to comment this. This is by design or some from the developers fucked up with the creation of physics, but be that as it may, stopping doing this is harder than it might seem at first glance. Stop! I'm begging you, stop, please stop! Stop showing this music everywhere as much as possible. I realize that you played Battlefield Hardline, I'm very sorry for you, but enough already, I beg you!
Building at a time.
So far, we've got the church.
And Jim Robs.
So what do we build next?
Whatever we want.
Without having any money yet. You build something, yes. Yes, no.
We take over the entire drug distribution network in Santo Ileso. Here, it's all about the food trucks. My friend Chewie knows the business inside and out.
Chewie.
That's not how it works in Los Banderos. You shoot someone in the face, they're dead. You fuck up their car, they're nothing.
I didn't understand something. The screenwriter was beaten by Vin Diesel at the moment or what? What's the problem with stealing a new car? You've been doing this all game. Yes, this particular car that was stolen is dear to Nina because memories are associated with it. But anyway, it's just a piece of metal. Why worry so much about it?
No!
And they also try to squeeze some drama out of this, but I don't give a shit about this car. Why is this so slow-mo and sad music? Come on, how much music do you have in this soundtrack in general? 2. No matter how beautiful or ugly I paint this car, he will not like it anyway. And yes, repainting this car is a fucking humiliation. There is no way he can repaint it back.
If Sergio's gonna fuck with my family, I'm gonna fuck with his.
It seems to me that his family will not mind if you offer them this. The phone fell to the ground, which broke the camera that shoot this phone. What?
You just waking up?
Telenovela binge last night. Kev was supposed to join, but he stood me up.
That doesn't sound like Kev. Plus, he left his inhaler here, and he's not answering my text.
Before he was kidnapped, he was in the gym, and since he left the inhaler at home, he was also in the gym without it. It's not that important, apparently. In order to the man in the toilet to speak, it is necessary to destroy the camp of his gang with this toilet, which he naturally cannot see, but he will react to it somehow anyway.
Now I say we wingsuit down to that mansion and teach those motherfuckers what happens when they kidnap a saint.
You certainly came up with an excellent idea, but show me for mercy, where do you see wingsuit on Kevin's naked body? I understand that everyone does not care about my nitpicking and he will somehow go down with anyway. If you hit the ventilation cover, it will fall inward. Also, their dimensions slightly do not imply such penetration. Well done for waiting while I stumble your partner. You are wonderful members of the gangsters group.
Okay, Boot Hill is this live stream fight club kind of thing they do on the abandoned island out in the lake.
Not entirely correct. Boot Hill is a faded copy of an exact same show in the original games that was a million times more fun and million times more entertaining. This one kind of grey and dull shit which I hardly want to play again. And if you're already making movie references, what the hell is a fight club? More like a battle royale, but apparently too few people know about the battle royale and therefore the fight club.
Welcome to Boot Hill, where you are the show. Murder your way through my playground while the world watches in real time.
And no one from this whole world even thinks of going to police about a show in which people kill each other. And there were too many 47s coming in this party. Sudden reference, I don't understand why.
God damn.
Jesus Christ. So that's what being good at murder means.
That's what it means not to be able to write dialogues and blurt out some kind of cringe crap pretending that it should be a funny crap.
Seeing it on a leaderboard really puts things in perspective.
Should we be scared or reassured?
Why the hell is that supposed to scare you? You are exactly the same killers as the main character and are engaged in those murders of yours throughout the game. Why are you surprised at all as if it's not in the order of things for you?
He's being detained in a privately owned prison called the Frontier.
You want to break out the Nawali, don't you?
Assuming he hasn't been extrajudicially murdered by now? Yes.
Release the villain whom he himself put behind bars at the beginning of the game, killing a whole bunch of his people in parallel. I already guessed who buried the main character in the grave in the beginning of the game. And yes, in order to make it easier to rob a train, you are going to break into the prison and free a dangerous prisoner from it. It seems to me alone that if it's not difficult for you to get into a mega protected prison, then it should not be much more difficult to rob a train. Why do you need another partner? And why not take a handful of your recruits instead who came to you? Why did you recruit them at all? And also at first the main character will try to do everything in stealth, for which he put on his old uniform, which is for some reason was not taken from him. But he would not think of putting a helmet and glasses on his head like other soldiers, so it would be much harder to recognize him by sight.
There! We're out of the prison.
And how will you get out of the canyon?
To the left? Which is taking us back to the prison shit.
It would be, in fact, a hilarious joke if Minimap had not shown us in advance that we will return back to the prison, thereby ruining the surprise. Well, I didn't look at the map, so it turns out to be neighboring. Shooting at a mine does not blow it up. The mask trend has spread so much that even the in-game city has been visited, in which there is no infection.
It produces fake records and documents based on real-world data. It should be good enough to fool the fraud detection algorithms.
That sounds really complicated. How about I just throw myself in front of cars and trucks, and the harder they hit me, the more money we get?
A great offer, but this has already been absolutely in all previous parts of the series. No matter how fun it may seem, are you trying to retrieving the same scene for the next 6th time? Besides, this doctor just lay out a detailed plan of how you can cheat the insurance company with the help of algorithm. Why do you go there?
Sorry about not being able to connect the other day. A whole lot of people tried to kill me, so I had to, murder the shit out of them, and, well, time got away from me.
It happens.
You meet the rest of the crew yet?
No, I was waiting for you.
In order to climb the balcony of the 2nd floor, you need to go through the inside of the building, in which all these members of your team are located. Or did you just lightly walk past them, telling them that we would only go to know each other when the boss came?
I cannot recall having a more memorable time.
Same here. Not since Ghost Pepper Night.
Kevin? We do not speak of Ghost Pepper Night.
I just can't figure out what's so funny about this chili night of theirs. They made some kind of food which turned out to be too spicy, and after that they cheat for a long time. What's so funny about this? And here another hilarious joke about Kevin not wanting to get dressed that gets dragged out of the whole story.
Please, make Kev wear a shirt.
I realized that he did not like the shorts. I did not laugh at first time. The 10th time, stop repeating, please.
I'll think about it.
Please do.
Please do.
We just saw a boss fight consisting of one cutscene in which not even the main character was a participant.
Follow my lead!
I know how to handle myself against Marshall.
Last time you treated them in such way that they handcuffed you, so probably all the same you suck at how we behave with them.
Ha! We got the car! Oh, shit! It's booby trapped.
Again?
They planted a body trap in a place where the codex lies. What was the point of stealing it then if you so calmly wanted to blow it up?
What's your fucking point?
Pursuant to Article 9, Section 12, Paragraph 36A, you have surrendered all rights and ownership of the Saints to us.
Eli?
Oh my God, he's right.
Of course I'm right. I wrote the fine print myself.
You are aware that didn't solve the issue.
Okay, I admit it, it was funny. Unlike the joke about the voice menu on the phone.
What do I press to speak to a person?
For customer service, press 1. For billing, press 2. For the complaints department, press 3.
How old is this joke? More precisely, how many years ago did it stop being funny? And what's more, this version of this joke doesn't even try to be funny.
For membership information, press 1. For negotiation updates, press 2. For bonus mile information, press 3. For terrorist supplies, press 4.
We're not waiting years. Except for this fucking elevator. Seriously, what the fuck?
If this elevator infuriates you, then you better not go into the Mass Effect. There, the whole game consists of this elevator.
Walk into my building and take your little saint.
Voice-over speech of the villain while making his way to his lair to Lishem.
My family built this business. My name is on the goddamn building.
Our stock price is rock bottom, and our shareholders want your head.
It's the Saints! They exposed the frontier. They robbed my train. They ruined my good name!
From the very beginning to this minute, I have not had a single drop of dislike for this antagonist. He did everything right, but the main character constantly did something kind of garbage to him, and now he also deprived him of his business that his family built because Atticus defended his company from attack of the Saints. I don't know about you, but I'm on his side.
Like the prince yet?
Twice. Even sprayed it with air freshener. just in case they bring it.
In the whole world of Saints Row, why bother with fingerprints? We just drove around in a tank, destroying half of the city, and no one followed us after the end. Why bother? In addition, in a second the cops will cover you here, whom you will shoot in the middle of the street, and I am sure that you will not even remove the corpses from the road. I need to shoot the policemen hiding on the bridge. They look out of the shelter very reluctantly, the entrance to the bridge is far from me, and therefore I am now waiting while they decide to raise their heads. In order to continue the main story, you must complete all the quests in 2 random businesses. And I would find fault with this, but first of all, there are not so many of these quests, and it was quite interesting to go through them. At least the ones I went through. I don't know about the others. So all the same, I will remove the scene for the cool side quest. You can change into purchased closet anywhere you please, because the main character apparently wears all his clothes in his pocket. What? Gifted 3D modelers worked on Eli's model.
Next, my research said keep your eyes open when you shoot.
Sure. I like to pretend there's a little white dot or crosshairs on whatever I'm shooting at, and then just aim for it.
If there were a few more such breaking of the fourth wall in the game, it could stand in line for third, second... Not fucking shit, it doesn't stand up. Eli decided to try to shoot at the pursuers from the roof, as the main character does. And this process is accompanied by 0 jokes. Well, at least you fell on the roof at the end, so that at least you could giggle, no? Yes, you won.
That was Grand Theft Audio by DJ Mellow Yellow.
The name of a radio station that Rockstar didn't think of. Now we are participating in a fictional role-playing game with Fallout and Dragon, where everything is not real, and especially for this mission they made unique finishing animations, and also there are few, they are still cool.
Why is there a box of bottle caps?
Huzzah! You have found quite the fortune.
Hey Eli, what's this $2.99 stuff?
'Tis but a microtransaction. Check thine coin purse for funds.
Mimic?
Don't fucking touch that! That's not loot!
Okay, calm down. I really feel like I'm in the future.
You'd be surprised how old this tech is.
Oh yeah?
Marshall's toy division released it in 1989.
From time to time the developers are very good at joking. With these references I needn't thank you.
This is test 7.1.8 alpha of product QA99-5 mode S.
So what are we testing?
Something that lets you shoot through walls.
Like a railgun?
More like a rail window.
And here I was expecting a reference to a portal. Maybe what was shown in the end is also a reference to something, and I wanted a reference to Portal, which I didn't get in the end. I found Aztec gold in the trash. Why not? Aero swimming.
This gives me an idea. I'm going to the booth.
You mean the Marshall building?
That's the one. What's the point of stealing from Marshall if they don't know we took it?
It is likely that this quest could have been completed before we threw Atticus off the board, but now when he is not there and there is a woman sitting on the board who has nothing against us, why go to them and destroy their own? I don't know it was intended or not, but during these jumps on cars of mine, very often these cars line up like this. Once again it's okay, but for them to constantly arrange such traffic jams, because of which it also becomes harder to complete this task, because the car stands still, this is not very good at all. And I don't think that it was planned that way from the beginning, so that the cars behave like this. Skinny jeans.
I want to know what that feels like.
Well, let's go. Whoa, an unexpected betrayal. I did not expect it so much that I was not surprised that it happened.
I'm playing a snail strategy tonight. Find me 3 snails, and I will give you this bear I just happen to have in my hand.
Last bear for the win.
I will never get the last bear.
My clothes. Is that my blood?
Where did you see even a drop of blood on your clothes?
Sir mine, your empire is mine. The saints are all mine.
Like hell, they are.
This is how it works. In order to not die after a knife wound in stomach, it's enough just to have great willpower and a desire to prevent the villain from achieving a vicious plan. Now I know.
In your house, taking your stuff.
I'm waiting for you. Let's finish this back where we began it.
The story ends where it began, cliché, and 2 times. The first in the flashback from the beginning, and second in that wild western town. And this is how the music sound during the trip to the final battle.
You want to learn from your mistakes instead of getting punished for someone else's?
Insanely epic, isn't it?
Huh. Guess this old Marshall stuff still has me in the database.
Despite the fact that after your dismissal you should have been deleted from the database so that in the future you would not have the opportunity to use the weapons as now.
I can't...
You're gonna say you can't tell me because the Nawali will kill you, then I'll say, if you don't tell me, I'll kill you. And we're just gonna be right back to where we started, so let's just skip that part.
No, I was gonna say I can put the address in your phone.
Oh.
It was unexpected and funny.
You guys okay?
I'm not hitting at anything, but maybe first it would not hurt to pull a bullet in Nawali's head and only then ask friends if they are okay. Helicopter boss in 2022 game. Seriously?
Fucking smoke!
CJ!
Well, naturally, I fired the final shot in a duel, because where without a duel in a game parodying the Wild West?